When I first learned how to play an instrument, I didn't have lessons, I didn't learn music theory, I didn't know what I was doing, but I did know how to Google how to play my favourite songs. And so I had to learn the shapes of the chords, I had to learn what those chords were called, but it was all really exciting for me because I was learning my favourite songs. Then once I learned those songs, I'd learned some new chord shapes, for me it was guitar, and from there I could start writing my own. And actually in the end, through learning covers, I actually ended up writing more than I was playing other people's music. And the same can be true for the handpan. There's a website called handpanchordbook.com, which I have a jumper for, and it's got a bunch of cover songs on there. I've chosen one today to demonstrate this with. I'm not going to play the song, I'm not going to learn the song, but I'm going to use this to learn some new chord progressions and some new chord shapes. So I have loaded on my screen here Fix You by Coldplay. I'm sure most of us have heard of this song. I have a D kurd loaded here because that's the handpan that I have and I want to play. And it's already recommended for me what key I should play this song in. And it's already given me all of the chord shapes for this song. Kind of like guitar tablature, I suppose. And then if we scroll down, we have the actual... You can make this big or small. We have the actual verses of the song. I actually don't know this song very well. I know the chorus, but I don't know the verses at all. So I'm just going to take the structure and use this as an opportunity to learn some new chords. Some chords that I don't know off the bat. D minor 7, that's new for me, so that'll be nice. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, so the first line is an F, an A minor, a D minor 7, oof, and another A minor, slash G. Not really sure what that means, there's no G in that chord, but maybe I'll just put it in anyway. That a bit more interesting. This is nice as well because it's starting me on a different chord than usual. Normally on D kurd I'd just go straight for the ding, straight for the D, but in this case we're playing in F. And because those two second chords are closer together, I'm going to assume that we play those a little bit more quickly. I'm assuming that the first F we play for a bit longer. And then we can go 1 and 2 and like this. This sounds nothing like the original song, but it's giving me an opportunity to learn some chord shapes and start to create something from it. And I definitely never would have gone for this shape. It sounds a little bit crunchy, but when it's just passing into the next thing, it's actually really nice. Let's see if we can turn this into something by playing a pattern here. Ooh, I like that. If we speed that up a little bit, make the changes a bit faster. Let me talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. I'm kind of halfway playing an arpeggio and halfway playing kind of a melody chord type thing. Choosing the lowest note and the highest note that I want to play of my chord shape. So these diagrams give you all of the possible notes, but you can choose whichever ones you want. You don't have to play all of them. We physically are unable to a lot of the time, right? So I'm playing together, and then I'm arpeggiating, meaning playing one note after the other of that F major chord. Same with the A minor, I'm playing the top and the bottom note. Continuing an arpeggio. Same with that D minor 7, right? Bottom and top. And then with this one, because, oh yeah, bottom and top. I'm choosing a low G here because it's got a /G on it. So even though I'm just playing arpeggiated chords, because I'm adding a high note at the beginning of each one, it makes it start to sound like it's got some melody happening. All of that just from stealing some chords from the chord book website. Let's see what the chorus looks like, and if we can give ourselves a part B to this. Yes, we can. We've got some different chords here for our part B. Whoa, C sus4, there's a new one for me. I never would have chosen this because it feels clashy, but in the context, it's really nice. So I actually know the chorus to this one, so maybe I can use that to help me decide where to place these notes, these chords. Yeah, the reason this works so well is because it's moving to this chord here. This note is in this chord that it's moving to. Actually, to make this less clashy, this is an F, and I have one under here. So maybe I'll play like this instead. No, I preferred it high. So we have an A part and a B part now. I'm just gonna scroll so I can see both of those progressions. And now we have a song. B, the chorus. A really quick version, but from here we can take these parts and then move the chords around if you want to, play around with the lengths of them, play around with the patterns that we use to make that more interesting. We can do whatever we want with that, and we can take it as far away from the original song as possible so no one will ever know, but find movements and patterns that we otherwise would not have come up with, that otherwise, you know, handpan teachers wouldn't have taught because they're not particularly handpan-y, you know? They're from the pop world or the rock world or whatever. And so suddenly it already sounds really interesting. If you're looking for pattern ideas for these, there are a couple of different avenues you can go down. You can follow a bunch of YouTube tutorials on how to play different patterns and apply those to different chord progressions. Or you can follow the course that Rosie has created on the Handpan chord book that starts really beginner friendly and just gives you some really simple patterns that you can later go back to the chord book and apply. I really recommend it. It's a really incredible resource. The chord book itself is free. So yeah, check it out and see what you come up with. I'd love to hear all about it. Enjoy.